That means that you've been in the industry for more than a decade now.
Don't say that.
That was my yearbook quote.
I was like, I love you for that.
Well.
Come on, girl.
Incredible. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Empower Sounds podcast. I'm joined by the amazing Niki. Can you please start by introducing yourself?
Hey guys, I'm Niki Kini and I'm a pop R&B artist.
Niki, can you please start by telling us about your journey, one that you've been on since you were a teenager, and how you got into music, being a songwriter, singer and creator?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I'm 23 now, but I've been doing this for a minute. I think when I meet people, they're always like, oh, you're so young. But when I started on YouTube, first of all, and I was 11 years old when I posted my first YouTube cover. It's not good. It's archived. No one can ever see that video. But yeah, so I've wanted to be an artist for a very long time, and I've always known that. And the reason that I started on YouTube is because if anyone's familiar with how Justin Bieber made it, he posted a video on YouTube and then blew up. Same thing with Madison Beer. I'm a big fan of both of them, and I was a huge fan back then. So I was like, cool, I'm going to be the next Justin Bieber and Madison Beer. So there I was at 11 years old on YouTube posting terrible covers. And yeah, from there, by the time I was around 15, I got picked up by a manager, which was obviously very cool. And to be fair, because of my family's background, we're not in music. My family is not a musical family. My sister played violin, so that's a classic Indian stereotype. She played violin, I played piano, but yeah. So when I started on YouTube, it was just for trying to get in front of people. And to be honest, the way that I did that, I've always been a very strategic person. Mm-hmm. So when I was 14, around that age, I started singing covers of Madison Beer songs that weren't released. So she would sing a snippet on a live, or she would post a snippet on YouTube or whatever. And so I would find these kind of underground artists, make the full song, play it on piano, try and do whatever production I could, all self-taught, and then I would post it on YouTube, and I would gain access to people who had also had the song because they'd be looking it up on YouTube, and then they'd come across my video. So that was a really good way of me getting in front of people. But to be honest with you, they weren't great. The videos weren't amazing, but it was just more of building an audience. And it wasn't I didn't have a massive YouTube channel. I even now, I have over 1,000 subscribers. So it was nothing crazy. But yeah, after I got picked up by a manager, that's when things started rolling out, started doing more studio sessions. Yeah. And then from there, I've just never stopped doing it.
So interesting, and that means that you've been in the industry for more than a decade now.
Don't say that.
Which is incredible. But I think a lot of people have wanted to post on YouTube, whether it be videos of them talking, or their music, or their dancing, or their art, or just their thoughts. And they're scared because they don't feel like they're ready, or it's not perfect, or they might be cringe. You started so young, and it was probably not the most refined version of your music, and also 100%. Yourself and your vision and your aesthetic as an artist. So what gave you the courage to just start and then get going and refine as you go?
Do you know what? There's a quote where it's it's cringe until it works. Might be a cringy quote, might be a cliche quote, but it's true. I think people are so worried about putting out a version of themselves on the internet because people are going to talk smack about you. Trust me, I've had a lot of people talk stuff about me. And even when I was in school, I actually remember after I posted on YouTube, I did not promote it on my social media. I did not tell my family. I didn't tell a single soul because I was internally still very shy. And it's taken me a long time to be yeah, guys, go my stuff, check it out, yeah. But I just think you have to put yourself out there. I think people get caught up in their heads so often, and it's if you don't put it out, there's gonna be no change. You're not gonna see the change that you wanna see. And I feel people get very caught up in their heads, and it's remove your art, remove who you are as a person from what you want to achieve. no one's going to be the best version of themselves on the first go. And I feel like another quote that I really like, I'm a big Pinterest girl, is that like someone more successful than you will never knock you down.
This is true.
It's so true. Like, so if you're worried about some guy, some girl that you knew or know, whatever, saying stuff about you, who cares? Do you really care about their opinion? No, like, look, I'm not saying that it doesn't. Sometimes these things do hurt, and sometimes you're a bit like, oh, that one is going to stick with me. And like, I've received a lot of hate in the past, but I just feel like you have to be, if you want something, go for it. Like, don't let anyone get in your way or stop your vision. Only you know what you can achieve. So ignore the haters, keep going.
That's incredible advice. I love it. And actually, I don't really talk about this that much, but I had a YouTube channel back in school as well.
Come on, girl. The YouTubers are here.
The YouTubers are here. And unlike you, I stopped posting because I started it when I was like 15 and I stopped it once COVID had ended and I was going back into school because I didn't care about internet trolls or haters online. But going back, I grew up in a really white area like you. You grew up in Oxford, I grew up in Cambridge.
Oh, so there we go.
It's like thing one, thing two. And I was one of the only women of color in the school that I went to, and I was anyways weird just by existing, just by being brown in a space of whiteness, and also like because I went to a private school of money, I was already just weird by existing and taking up space. And so I felt really unsafe at like 17 to make myself more of a target and like have people say things. Also, I didn't know at that point what I wanted because I didn't have music in the same way that you did. It was just me. And so I felt like I wasn't ready. And it's so funny now that my podcast a few years later is back on YouTube. So
we love that.
The haters couldn't keep me away. But do you have any advice on how to navigate not just like not caring what random people will think, but not caring about like your acquaintances and like the people in the kind of periphery of your life?
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard because I get it, and I've definitely been in the same position, and especially like your upbringing and stuff, I feel like we probably had quite similar upbringings. I think like honestly, if your goals are big enough and you have enough like drive and motivation, like tunnel vision, stay focused on your end goal. Those people who are like saying stuff about you, first of all, if they're your friends, they won't really be saying that about you. And if they are, then they're not really your friends. So that's fine. Scooch, please. But like, I don't know. I think if you want to achieve something, like stay focused. Don't let people ruin your vision. I feel like it's a waste of space. It's a waste of your energy. Like you don't have, like when you've got big goals, you're consumed, okay? I speak from experience. You're so consumed in it that you shouldn't really even have time to like care about what someone thinks about you. Like think about it, like even if you're doing something very normal, you're in like your regular 9-to-5 job, people might talk smack about you then. They might say, why did she go into, I don't know, finance or whatever it is. Like, okay, and it's in my head, I constantly tell myself it's just not that deep. Like that is my quote because
that was my yearbook quote.
I love you for that. Yeah, I wish I had a yearbook. Oh my god, that would have been mine too. We are so alike. I love it. Yeah, but it's true, isn't it? Like seriously, like it's just not that deep. People might think about you for a second and then they'll forget. So why are you still thinking about them? I know it's easier said than done, but just grow a thick skin. Just ignore them. Like, seriously, if they're not on your side, they're not on your side. You shouldn't care anyway.
And what about the inner critic? Because
she's different.
Sometimes it can feel really deep. Not because of something that someone has said to you, but because something that you have told yourself.
Yeah.
So how have you navigated that and stayed consistent with your music for like over 10 years now?
Yeah, I mean, I think that is, for me personally, that's like definitely my biggest battle. I think like everyone is most like critical of themselves, generally speaking. I know that I definitely am the same. And it's hard. It's really hard to like navigate, especially everyone goes through ups and downs with their career, with their like internal dialogue, with their mental health, all of that. And it all plays a factor. I think for me, I'll be 100% real, like I've had a lot of like down days. And especially like in the music industry, I always say this, it's like applying, you know, when you're like applying for jobs and you keep getting rejected and you just keep getting those emails that are like, no, because of this, you're not experienced, you're not this, you're not that. The music industry is like that, but it's like who you are as a person, your image, your following, whether people think you're cool or not, your personality. It's like you like as a whole, which can feel so overwhelming and, you know, can kind of like kill your soul a little bit. But I think you just have to keep coming back to why you're doing it. I mean, for me, like you said, I've been doing music for a long time now. It's because I love it. And you know what? It's like a very oversaturated market, especially the pop industry. Like, it's crazy oversaturated. Everyone wants to be a pop artist. Why wouldn't you want to be? But yeah, I think just like coming back, like giving yourself the time to like reflect. I think 1% better every single day, it should be like your motivation in anything. You don't have to be an artist, you don't have to be in music for that to be the case. So for me, it's just like coming back, giving myself a breather, reflecting on the things that I have done. I think sometimes when we're feeling self-critical, we're like, oh, I haven't done this, I haven't done that, I'm not where I want to be. You know, like you said, like, to be honest with you, like I started properly doing music when I was like 16. But even then, like, I'm 23 now, and that's a long time, and I still look back, and I know you say that I've been, like, regular with releases and stuff. I don't feel like I have. I still feel like there's a lot that I want to achieve, and I was kind of hoping I would have achieved by now. But thinking about that is only a weight that you carry, so why not just, like, release, focus on, like, the next steps, and, like, I'm a big to-do list girl. Oh, my God, I'm a to-do list girl through and through. So it's just, like, stay focused. Like, okay, we didn't do that. Fine. This is what we'll do next. I think it's, like, it is hard, though, and I get it with the, like, self-critic. But the truth is you're always going to feel like there's more to do. There's more that you want to achieve. So focus on your wins. That's how to, like, keep motivated, I think.
I love that. And I really like the 1% idea. And it's been used in like general self-help, atomic habits, all that kind of stuff, in like being an athlete.
Yes.
In your context as a musician and an artist, how are tangible ways that you practice like becoming 1% better, things that people who are listening that want to be in your position could do?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it like depends on what you want your career to look like. Because there are a lot of artists who don't necessarily want like commercial success. I personally, that is my goal. Like, I would like to be, you know, able to sell international shows. I want to be able to do that kind of thing just because that's the career that I've always envisioned for myself. That doesn't mean everyone else has to have that goal. Like, some people are happy with like doing a show and no one turns up and they're just doing it because they love it. Don't get me wrong, I've done plenty of those. But I really, really thrive when like the audience is singing back with me, and it's just like, for me, that's what really drives me. So I feel like I've totally lost track of your question. What was your question again?
What are little ways that people can implement the 1% wins?
Yeah, okay. So I feel like look at what your goals are, or like have it internally. You don't have to like write it down or anything, or if you want, you can. But yeah, and then just work out like what you think makes you 1% better. To be honest with you, when I kind of look at my 1% better every day, I look at that in like a physical way. So for me, like being able to perform is really important. And I think people often look at singers and they think it's like not necessarily like an athletic thing. It's a massive athletic thing. I dare you to sing 5 songs back to back, jumping up and down in your room. It's hard. Like, you have to have stamina, you have to have core strength, you have to be able to like run up and down. Like, there's a lot to it. And I mean, that's like part of the fun for me. So like something that I'm really trying to focus on. I've got like, it's like not officially out yet, but like I've got a big announcement coming soon. So in terms of like that, I'm training every single day. I wake up at 5 a.m. every single day because you have to show up in order to show out. So I'm up at 5 a.m. every single day. I hit the gym. That's before my 9 to 5. But in those moments of like, should I snooze? Should I snooze that long, go back to bed? Or should I do what I told myself? It's like those little things. It's like little changes that you actively remind yourself why you're doing it and like what you're doing it for, I think will help you like navigate who you want to be. And that's not just like in music. I think you can do that in any way. Obviously for like commercial success, TikTok is a huge thing. TikTok is massive. So like the content game, I mean, you know this, I'm sure. So the content game, even if you're not in music, so the content game is big. It's like kind of drives a lot of, you know, traction, and whether a label cares about you, whether the right people are looking at you, even selling shows, all of that kind of stuff. It plays a huge factor. So I know a lot of artists struggle with getting content out and making the content and coming up with the ideas for content. So I think like even little goals of, okay, this week I'm going to do 3 posts or 2 posts or whatever it, like you feel is doable. And then working towards it. I think like smaller goals sometimes help like drive towards like a 1% better, because you like know what you're striving for. But yeah, and you don't have to be 1% better every day, but it's like small changes, whether it's like even in your personal life. Like I'm really bad with balance sometimes. Like I'm so bad with it. And so sometimes it'll be like, cool, I've spent so much time focused on my music that I literally have not caught up with any of my friends. I don't know what's going on in anyone's life. That's not 1% better of me. Like you know, so I'll be like, cool, this week like I really want to focus on making sure that everyone's good. Like, how is everything going? How's my family? Like all of this. So it's all about balance. She says that she does not know how to do it.
I'm laughing and nodding, not because I think this about you, but because I feel exactly the same way with balance and with goals and everything. And for me, I love music, and sometimes I imagine what life would have been like if I pursued that instead of what I do now. But in terms of business, 1%, I have like a little habit tracker.
Love that.
And I do my stuff as well. And in terms of content, I love the content that you post, because not only are you consistent, but I feel like it's very creative, and I feel like you have a very defined aesthetic, and it's almost like a kind of template where you have like the Snapchat videos with the text and then like the transitions to your music and stuff. So how did you create your content style, and how do you continue to refine that as well as being consistent?
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard question, because I feel like I'm constantly questioning, is this the right direction? Should I be testing new things? Also, like, I think where I'm obviously, my social media is very consumed in the music world. I see a lot of music posts. I was speaking to a friend of mine the other day, actually, and I was saying, I think the Snapchat filter into a song is getting old. Like, I think people are bored of it. And she was like, why do you think that? And I was like, well, I've seen it everywhere now. Like, every musician I follow is doing it. And she was like, I haven't seen it once. So it's just like, it's the kind of crazy, because obviously that's just like the social media that I consume, so I see it a lot. But then you look at someone who's maybe not in music and probably doesn't see that kind of content. I think like with content, it's hard because you're trying to sell something without it feeling like you're trying to sell something, because obviously the end goal is that people will care about you or your music and tap into it, whether it's a stream, whether it's a follow, like, share, whatever. And so somewhere along the way you have to kind of like find a curveball to like get them within that 3-second attention span, which is hard. I think like experimenting is the best advice for social media, because it works differently for everyone. I think getting a little bit weird with it can also actually work quite well. Like, do something that people aren't expecting, because then it usually like catches their attention. But yeah, I guess it really like depends on what you're trying to achieve with your content. At the moment, like my main focus with my content personally is just to like have fun with it. Like I work with a really incredible videographer, Savannah. Why did I say her name? I always call her Sav, so it felt weird calling her full name. Yeah, but she's incredible. And so like I feel like we massively bounce off of each other's energy, which is like great when you're filming. Like I think just like focus on having fun. There's not enough fun anymore, guys. You need to have fun.
This is so true. I think fun is productive.
Fun is productive.
That might be a hot take, but I think that like, how can you be consistent if you don't enjoy what you're doing?
Oh my god, yes. Yes.
Fun is the secret sauce.
Fun is the secret sauce, because I feel like I speak to a lot of musicians, right, or a lot of artists, and everyone says the same. They say, I'm not a content girly, I don't enjoy it, I'm not good at it. It's a mindset, okay? I don't think I'm a content girly. You might look at my content and think, see, but I'm not, Okay, I've become a content girly. Manifest it. I just think like, and what it is just having fun. Like me and Sab will be walking around, I don't know, an area, usually in West London somewhere, and I'll be like, this might be really weird, but should we like recently we went to Popeyes. They were really lovely, gave me some chicken, classic, and I was actually like, cool, I'm gonna like mash it up in my hands and like eat it in the video.
I saw that.
And we were just like, yeah, why not? And you know what, if it doesn't do well, like people get too attached to videos. Don't get attached to your content, okay? Post enough that you're not attached. When something does well, brilliant. Try and copy it, try and use it as like a template for what you do next. Don't get attached. Does it rubbish? Don't worry about it. It's just one video.
Also, like, it's your portfolio. Like, I got my first viral video yesterday on TikTok.
Come on, girl.
After like months and months of just trying different styles, and some of these videos took me like hours to edit. The video that popped off, I recorded it. It took me 3 minutes to make, and I posted it. But it means that like now people are coming and they're going and they're seeing like, what else has this girl said? Exactly. And then these videos that originally got like 6 views are finally getting some love. So it's never like a wasted
100%.
It's never a wasted moment. Apart from content, how else do you bring fun into like your music creation process?
Oh my goodness. Guys, I genuinely adore making music. Like, if nobody likes my music, I actually don't care anymore because I really enjoy making it. Like, you might think I'm rubbish, and that's fine with me because I'm having fun whilst I'm doing it. For me personally, my like music and my sound has had like quite a journey. I think even if you listen to like my tracks on Spotify or like Apple Music, whatever, you'll see that like my discography is a little bit all over the place. And I feel like that's because for a long time I've been trying to work out like, what is my sound? Where do I actually fit in? And I feel like for the first time it's amazing, but I feel like I've really found like what I vibe with. And so like the music at the moment is kind of, it's got like funk elements in it. It's like, it's still very predominantly pop, but it's just like more fun, like it's wittier in the lyrics. It's like, I don't know, like when I'm recording, I will literally just say random things on the mic and we'll be like, that's funny, let's put it in. Like, it's all just like about having a laugh. Like, honestly, some of my lyrics are a bit random. Like, if you listen, they are a little bit random. It's like, what is going on? But to be honest, I feel like that's come from a place of having done music for a long time, firstly. And secondly, because I love to perform. I love being on stage. It's like my favourite part of music. And so when I'm on stage, what I've learned is that the more upbeat stuff is a lot more fun to perform because you get to like boogie around and have a bit of fun with the audience. Whereas like, deep down, I'm a ballad girl. Like, I love a ballad. I would do anything to just sing my heart out. But on stage, it's way more fun to try and shake my bum. I can't do it very well, but I try, and that's what counts. So yeah, I would just say like, having fun with it is just like knowing who's like good for your energy, first of all. Like, I think having energy in the room is really important to me. I personally don't like to just work with anyone. And that kind of sounds so up myself. But I just mean from like an energy point of view. Like, if we vibe and like, there's just like a good connection, there's a bit of banter there, then like, I feel like the energy is good in the room and you can be a bit crazy with it, be a bit weird with it. And I think you'll find like in the music industry, everyone is actually so weird. Like when you're sat in studio sessions, everyone's just saying things that you're just like, I literally do not know you that well, but this is just so funny because it's just so strange. And the thing is, everyone is a little bit weird, right? I feel like people shy away from their weird selves when they're like with new people or whatever and like valid. But in a studio session, it's just like a safe environment. If you're in with like the right people and you like obviously bounce off of each other's energy, it's just like vibes.
I love that there's good weird, but sometimes there's bad weird as well.
Yes, not bad weird.
So how have you navigated like dealing with conflict is the wrong word, but like awkward and uncomfortable conversations in the industry?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like as a female, as a South Asian woman, I think you need to kind of protect your energy a little bit. Know who is on your side, know who isn't. I think the music industry is a very like power grab place, at least from what I've experienced. I think you'll meet a lot of people who will kind of sell you the world and say they're going to do this, this, and this for you. And it sounds all really nice and shiny on the outside. And then when you get into it, you're a bit like, okay, what happened to that conversation? Which is obviously a tricky one to navigate because, especially for me, like I'm still quite young. Like I'm still finding my way. I'm not saying that I know everything. I definitely don't. And there's still a lot that I'm learning. But I think knowing who around you is good for you. I'm lucky enough that like the producer that I predominantly work with, Shinra, he's amazing, and I feel like I can kind of go to him about anything. I'm not currently managed or anything, and I have been kind of in and out for a long time. But yeah, so just like knowing who in your inner circle you could go to about anything and just be like, what's your take on this? Because yeah, I think like the music industry is obviously there's a lot of money in it, but like at a point where you're like doing well. And so you'll find a lot of like people try and like, I don't know, snake you out or like kind of cut you out of things. And there's all that kind of like nonsense, which is like fine, whatever. But also just like know your limits, know how far you're willing to like push the boundaries and stuff, and just like know who you are as a person also to protect your own energy, because something's taking up too much space, too much headspace, too much energy, too much weirdness, then enough, get out of there. If it doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel right for a reason.
You're so right. This is why I do an energy audit every weekend.
I know, I saw that last week. I was stalking you. And I was like, I need to try this. I've never done an energy audit.
It's so, just for anyone who doesn't have context, it's so easy. Go get your cup of tea, coffee, drink of choice, whatever, and get a notebook and make a table like this. And you have plus, minus, and neutral. Mm-hmm. And then you write what gave me energy this week, what took my energy this week, and what was neutral. And this is not about good or bad. Mm-hmm. It can literally be someone that you love that drained your energy, or something that you enjoy. But again, it's like your energy is a resource. Mm-hmm. It's your most valuable resource. So 100. If something is consistently draining your energy, you don't have to dislike it or think it's bad, but you need to factor in that you're going to need more energy to have that in your life. 100. And if there's lots and lots of neutral things, that's noise in your life. And if you're in a really busy phase, and if you say that you struggle with balance like we do, then maybe deprioritizing some of this neutral stuff will give you more space for energy giving stuff, which will give you more energy to do all the important tasks that you need to do.
So, I love this. Yeah. I'm going to try this. I feel like I need this.
It's really simple. Like energy audit sounds really good. It's a journaling exercise.
Love a journaling exercise.
But I really, really, really love it. What is a journaling exercise that you use?
Affirmations. Big affirmation girl. I do my affirmations every single day before I go to bed, and I used to do them in the morning because I feel like that's a really good way of like
starting the day.
Exactly, it puts you in like a good mindset like for the rest of the day. And now my schedule is just so chaotic that I tend to do it before I go to bed, but it's just I feel like it's a really good like reset, and I feel like more people need to do it. I feel like I've spoken to a lot of people who don't really tap into affirmations. If you don't know what an affirmation is, it's basically like an I am statement. So you're affirming a quality that you already have in a positive way, so not like I am not messy. It's like a positive thing. I am organized, exactly. And so for me, I feel like it's really helped like boost my confidence, to be honest. Like I haven't always been as confident as I am, and I feel like affirmations, I've been doing it for years now, but it really helps me like come into my skin and just be like, do you know what, I am that B word or whatever it is.
You are. Yeah, you are. And how do you do it? Do you write it? Do you watch a video? Do you look in the mirror? Like, just for anyone who has never done it, like, what's a practice? Like, what's your practice?
So personally, I try and like physically write it down in my diary. I think it's like a really nice thing to also sometimes like reflect back on things that you've affirmed to yourself. I think I actually don't give myself like do 10 affirmations. I just write as many as like come to mind, feel good until I'm like in a good place mentally, and obviously depending on like time constraints. But yeah, I mean sometimes like if I'm feeling really exhausted, I've had a really long day, I just really want to get into bed, I will literally say my affirmations like I am kind, I am happy, I am content, whatever it is, until I fall asleep. So I literally fall asleep saying my affirmations.
I love that. I watch sleep affirmation videos. Like
Do you?
I leave them on at night on like
Love
really
that.
low volume because I am a little bit lazy, and the idea of like writing something in a diary every night, like it's great, but am I going to do it?
Exactly. There are definitely other methods. If you do not want to write it down, do not feel like you have to. You're putting it out in the universe no matter how you're like receiving it, I think. So yeah, love that.
What are 3 affirmations that you feel confident to share with the audience today?
Ooh. One thing that like I probably say every single day to myself is that I'm a kind person. I think kindness is something that we do not see enough in the world anymore. I think like, I mean, look at the news, look at social media, look at like anything, and it's just kind of crazy. Like I think everyone should strive to be a kind person. Forget success, forget money, forget power, whatever it is. I think that's really important, and it's really important to me that that's kind of like my first port of call in any situation, to show kindness. So yeah, I am kind is one that I always say. Another, I'm trying to think because I try and mix them up every day. Another is that like I am content. I actually spoke to someone a very, very long time ago, and I was like, oh, I'm not like in a happy place. Like I'm just not happy. I don't feel joy in like day-to-day life or day-to-day activities. And she shared this like really nice nugget of wisdom where she was like, sometimes we don't need to be happy all the time. Also, I loved your episode on happiness, by the way. Loved.
Thank you.
But yeah, she kind of was like, you don't need to be happy all the time. Just like aim to be content. And it was, you were talking about boredom, weren't you, in that episode? Yes. Okay. I like really, really related to that episode. And I, yeah, like the whole time when I was going through that like phase of my life or whatever, I felt very like bored. Nothing excited me. I was just like very meh all the time. Yeah. And so like now like strive to be content as like my like ground state of mind. Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't always have to be joyous and bouncing off the walls and all of that, because then there comes a point where actually you're not like stimulated because you're at a high the whole time, and no one can be at a high the whole time. So yeah, I am content is another. And then my third one would be it's a bit cringe. It's a bit cringe
No,
to say out loud.
I don't believe in cringe.
I love that. Mine would probably be like my third one that I do say most days is like I am successful, and I feel thank you, babe. I feel like it's something that is like celebrating my wins as far as I've come today, and also something that I want to like keep striving towards. And success looks very different for a lot of people. And I feel like I've got like an image in my head. It obviously varies. Like a successful day could literally be like, I didn't have a breakdown today. But another successful day could literally be like, I don't know, like I just got a fat paycheck off of something that I did. Like it really depends on what it looks like for you. But yeah, that's 3 that I try and like keep within.
I think that's so powerful about the success, because most people wait for a certain milestone to allow themselves to feel successful, to be successful.
100%.
And often what happens is by the time you get to that milestone, you're actually so emotionally numb and exhausted that you don't celebrate it, and you set yourself a new milestone. So it's really powerful that you're allowing yourself to feel successful while still in the pursuit of more success.
Exactly. I think it's important.
It is important. And let's take this time to share some of your big wins. So before I tell you some of the stuff that I found out from my internet stalking,
I'm excited.
Let's share what are some of your big wins that you feel really happy about?
Okay, this is such a sweet question. What the hell? I think like some of my like recent big wins would be I opened a gig for Forms at Colours Hoxton, which was a really, really nice venue. I'd never been before. And there were like over 250 people. So that's probably like the biggest show that I've performed at so far. That was a huge win for me. I think another really big win was performing at Cafe Coco for my headline show, which was honestly like one of the best nights of my life. That was amazing. There's like another big win that I just like I don't think I'm allowed to like say it yet, but like I don't know if I'll get in trouble for this or not, but like I'm playing at like a really big festival this year, which is a huge win for me, and like kind of low-key brings tears to my eyes every time I think about it. But it's just like, I don't know, like it feels weird to almost put it in milestones. I agree with you with what you were saying about that, but like sometimes those milestones just like do feel good, and it's okay to say they feel good. Yeah. But yeah, I would say that like those are some of my recent big wins.
I love that. And this podcast episode hasn't come out yet, but I talk about the 10 things I learned in my journey of starting a business. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I say is that the milestones are like 1 to 5% of the journey. Most of the time it's like the boring days. Like it's when you have to, for me, in my case, do admin. Yeah. Okay, you have like the fun days where you get to, in my case again, have a business launch, pitch to a huge client. Like I pitched to Chanel a few weeks ago, or like I pitched at Google a few months ago, and those are big, awesome days, or in your case, like huge performances. But most of the time it's just the boring, mundane work. And what are ways that you romanticize all the boring, mundane work?
I think just remembering why you're doing it. There's a lot of admin in music. I was actually speaking to one of my artist friends yesterday, and we were just talking about like all the admin that's involved, and we were just saying like, feel like you never really realize how much admin is involved with just like any kind of activity, because you only see the like glamorous side of things, generally speaking. Especially if you're like not managed, or you know, you don't have like a team behind you. It's like you are literally driving the whole ship. But I mean, I think it's hard because everyone hates admin, hate life admin, hate music admin. Oh my god, it's just so boring, isn't it? But you have to do it, and you have to do it properly, because otherwise like you won't get paid, you won't get it done
you get
properly.
Trouble.
Yeah, exactly. So in terms of that, I think just I'm a big to-do list girl, so I'm gonna say make a to-do list. Give yourself like goals of like, cool, I want to get these 3 things done by the end of this week. Don't make it overwhelming. I think I have a tendency to do that, where I'll put like 500 things in my to-do list, and then I'm like, oh, I've only done 2. It's just like set realistic goals, and just like try and do like a little bit helps. Every little helps. Who's that? Tesco.
I don't know.
Every little help. I think Tesco. Every little helps.
I've heard it, but it's not coming to mind.
I know, it might be Tesco.
I don't want to say the wrong brand and get like...
I don't know, it might be Tesco. But yeah, like every little does help. So just like give yourself enough that it's like something is happening. Don't try and get it all done in one go. Unless you can. Like if you can, then get it done. Obviously, like do what you can. But yeah, I think setting like short-term goals, like quick ones, to just be like, cool, that's a quick tick. I love to tick things off. Love it. Brings me so much joy. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Also, if you don't get distracted with music in the background, play some Niki Kini.
If you want.
If you want. Speaking of your music, I want to talk about your song Watch Your Back, because I think it's, first of all, if you haven't heard it, it's really good, really catchy. I was like singing it to myself on the bus.
Aww, thank you.
But the lyrics are based on your journey and your experience in the music industry. So do you want to like walk us through that a little bit and the inspiration behind the song?
Absolutely, yeah. So Watch Your Back, wrote that one in literally my living room with my producer back in November. I want to say November. And the song is literally what you said. It's about my journey as a musician. I started out at 15. I talk about it in the song. And it's really just about like reminding yourself who you are. I feel like sometimes we get caught up in all the noise, and it's easy to kind of like be like, no, you're all gonna see, okay? I feel like for a long time I felt really, honestly, kind of hard done by. Like I told you that I was managed from the age of 15 up until I was around 18, and my first manager, amazingly well connected, like things were starting to really roll out, and I was like very, very excited. I was genuinely like, I don't even think I'm going to go to uni. Like, I'm about to be the biggest star in the world, which might be a little bit too delulu. But yeah, obviously I did go to uni and stuff, but it was like very almost too positive, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But obviously then when things didn't work out for whatever reason, blah, 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 it kind of left me in a place where I felt really like, oh my God, I have no idea how to do this. Because obviously when I was like 15, 16 and being introduced to all these like really cool people, like all these people who were going to like make things happen for me, I wasn't in those conversations because of how young I was. I was never copied in those emails. I was never actually looped in with them directly. I would just meet them, be like, hey, and they'd be like, yeah, cool. And so by the end of that kind of first relationship, I realized I had no contacts of my own. And so I had to like start from scratch all over again and like find new people to work with. Like, you know, at the time I was going to work with like Steel Bangles, I literally think is the coolest person ever. And then all of a sudden it was like, no, Steel Bangles doesn't know who you are. You were going to do that because of the people we know, which is fine. Like, it is what it is. But obviously that was like quite a bitter pill to swallow, like at 18. And so, yeah, I think like Watch Your Back was honestly just like a reflection of all the things that had happened so far, and like some other stuff along the way as well. And then it was just like, if you don't like genuinely believe in me and like you don't think I'm gonna be what I know I can be, and watch your back, watch this space, because we're gonna turn things around whether you're involved or not. And I feel like it was really, for me, it was just like a self-belief song that like I almost needed to hear. But yeah, it felt really good, like writing that song actually. And we wrote that within like an hour. Like we were just like, let's go. let's just whip it out. And there are some like quirky lyrics in there. I think one of the lyrics is like, what is it? It's about like a tic tac, like, oh, you're minted but need a tic tac, which is just stuff like, you have money to throw at me but you don't want to, and like, actually you need a breath mint, like it's just like funny little things like that. So we were having fun along the way whilst we were writing it. It's not all like serious and deep, I promise. But yeah, so I think just like have fun with it, don't worry about it, focus on what you do know. And so that song for me was just like really about achieving what I want to, and you might just regret it if you're not like on my side.
For sure. And it's something that's resonated not just with me, but it's had a lot of like amazing reception since it's come out. So yeah. Do you want to share some of the milestones of how people have received Watch Your Back as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So like for me, it was amazing because I posted a TikTok about Watch Your Back, and I think it might have been the first TikTok I posted about it, and it went mega viral, which is obviously every artist's dream. So yeah, that was amazing to see kind of how people were connecting to the song, not only like the story that I shared behind it and behind like in that post, but like a lot of people reached out to me and they were like, oh my God, that's really interesting that that's happened to you, like this has happened to me, which is amazing because it's like, A, it makes other people feel seen through a song, and B, it's like you feel personally connected to someone who is listening, which is actually a really, really nice feeling as an artist. I think people often use music as a self-therapy kind of method, which definitely do, but it's obviously really nice to feel like you're not the only one who's been in that position. Like other people understand that feeling. And that's what music really is, right? People are making music for you to feel like you connect with it, or at least a good song makes you feel a type of way, in my opinion at least. So yeah, it was a really, really nice thing to see. And then from there we just got a bit like fun with the kind of content that we were doing. And yeah, it's just been like good to like experiment and see how people like receive something.
100%. And it's a theme I've seen consistent across your music as well, because you say that your I can't say this word, discography.
It's a hard word to say. It's taken me, I've been practicing.
Your range of tunes is super diverse, and I do think that there is this element of like kind of creative alchemy across it as well. I really like your song Special as well. I think that it's beautiful, and it's also something that people struggle with. And for context, actually, do you want to explain what Special is?
Yeah, sure. Like Special for me in particular was really, because obviously everyone can interpret it how they like, but for me it was really a song about kind of being in a relationship, any kind, whether it's friendship, like romantic relationship, however you want to interpret it, where you're kind of almost settled. you kind of know what you expect of the other person. And sometimes, like, I think in those moments you lose the charm of doing the unexpected or going out of your way or showing, you know, a particular token of love, whether, you know, whatever that is for you, whether it's a gift, flowers, whatever. So yeah, I think the song for me is really about, like, don't take advantage of the people who appreciate you and who you have in your life. I think it's really easy to be like, oh, I know when I come home that he'll still be there, or whatever it is in your situation. But to, like, really cherish the people. And if you have someone in your life, don't just, like, let it just be like, cool, I know they'll still be there tomorrow. Like, respect them, show them your love. Like, I think that's really important. I think that's, like, in any relationship, it's important to nourish that relationship and not get too comfortable where you then end up not showing, like, that kind of love, in my opinion, at least.
That's beautiful. And yes, you have a range across your music, but is there any new style that you want to experiment or you want to try? Like, what's in the horizon in terms of new music creation for you?
Yes, I mean, if you like Watch Your Back, you're going to definitely like the new up-and-coming releases. I'm working towards an EP at the moment, so I'm really, really excited for just what that holds. The newer stuff that I've been working on recently is very, like, pop, but, like, has elements of almost disco, funk. Like, it's just fun, it's playful. That's what we're really trying to strive towards. Yeah, to be honest with you, like, what's really important, I feel like people get very attached to, like, a genre. I am attached to a vibe, a feeling. That's really what I'm trying to create. Even with Done Me Wrong, which was my last single, it's not necessarily 100% in line with Watch Your Back, which was the single before that. But what it is like, it's kind of got a bit of a groove to it. It's got, like, a bit of fun, like, elements in it. So yeah, I'm just trying to, like, create music that I just feel like I can have a little boogie to. That's what I'm focused on at the moment.
That's incredible. And you've shared in other interviews that Mia is one of your inspirations.
Yes.
And Ray as well.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of your sound, if someone else was saying that Niki Kini is their inspiration, what 3 words would you want them to associate with your music?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think playful. I think I like to perceive my music as playful, whether other people do, I don't know. But yeah, I would say playful, like groovy. It's groovy. Sounds weird to say that word, but groovy. And what's the last word? Like, I don't know if this is kind of a synonym to groovy, but not really. Boogie, some kind of
Danceable. That's not a word, but
yeah, whatever. Whatever floats your boat. Yeah, I just feel like I want people to have, like, fun when they're listening to my music. Yeah, that's what I'd
beautiful. Say. That's so sorry. I just needed a moment to register that because
love it.
I think that's such a incredible message and that's so fun for your community. And I haven't seen your performances live yet, but I can imagine, like, a room of people just dancing and, like, smiling and having a good time. So the listeners can get involved. Are there any upcoming shows, or how can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, so my Instagram, all social media is Niki Kini Music. That's Nikikini. It's an anagram. Type it in, some jumble of letters.
I will put it in the
Okay, perfect. There you go. And yeah, I mean, just send me a DM. Like, do you know what I've noticed is no matter how big an artist is, they're reading your DMs. Believe it or not. So
really?
Every artist is reading their DMs. Okay, I don't know, like, maybe, like, Noel Gallagher isn't, but, like,
Justin Bieber's not reading his DMs.
He's got quite a few from me. No, I'm joking. Kind of. Yeah, no, but they are, like, they really are. Like, I think you'd be surprised, because a lot of, like, collabs and stuff come through that. Like, obviously it's different if you're following someone because then it pops up straight away, but you'd be surprised. I don't know, like, top level artists. Obviously I'm not in with those guys, but, like, yet. But yeah, that's a bit of fun info for you. And
watch your DMs get flooded now.
DM me, guys. Literally DM
everyone me. DM Niki. Go follow her music. I'm gonna link everything down below. I always end the theme I always end the podcast on the theme of gratitude. Mm-hmm. So will you share with us one thing that you're grateful for today?
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. I would say I'm grateful to have had the opportunity to be on this podcast. As I told you, I'm a huge fan. And yeah, like I just love any opportunity to like sit down, have a little chit chat. So yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for making the time. You inspire me so much, and your music moves people, and I'm so lucky that our community got to be part of your story as well. So go follow Niki. I beg you, because it's really good. Her music is really good. And stay tuned for the next episode next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.